Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of the Go Earn It podcast. And today I'm super excited. We got a doubleheader. My first guest, without further ado, let's get straight into it. He is one of the best wrestlers in the game right now. He's Jordan Oliver. Jordan, how you doing today, bud?
I'm good. I'm good. It's good to be on the podcast. It's good to talk wrestling, and it's finally good to be back and back in the game and competing.
Yeah. So first and foremost, Jordan, thank you for your time. It's been a long time coming for you to be on the podcast. We were super stoked when you said you had time this week. So thank you, and we are excited to have you. So let's get straight into business. Before we talk about what I think we both want to talk about with the current state of wrestling and how everything's been going, I want to talk a little bit about your background. For some of the listeners that aren't into the wrestling scene or don't know too much about wrestling, would you mind giving listeners a little background on your come up and how you came up, born and raised? Give me the little origin
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. Well, I started wrestling uh, technically when I was 3 years old, um, 4 years old. At the time, you're not able to start wrestling.
Right.
Um, so my older brother wrestled, and I was a hyper kid, so
Hmm.
it almost turned out to be like almost a daycare for me. When my bigger brother went to wrestling, I was getting dropped off at practice, and it was kind of a monkey see, monkey do kind of thing.
Right.
Uh, so I watched my older brother wrestle, and he was really good, and um, I grew right into it. The first year I couldn't wrestle. Um, I was practicing every day, and then uh, the next year I got to wrestle. I wrestled on exhibition. I lost literally every match. But it started out, and the place I started was St. Anthony's Youth Center, uh, which is, home to a lot of big wrestlers in the area where I'm from.
Yeah.
Jack Kuvo, Brian Snyder, Jamar Billman, uh, Bobby Weaver, and the list goes on. We all go on to Easton and uh, end up going to Easton. I won 3 state titles in Pennsylvania. Was a 4-time finalist. Freshman year, I was a little string bean, so
Hmm.
I was underweight. I was 88 pounds, wrestling
Jeez.
103. So I turned out to have the number one kid in the country at my weight, but I had a couple studs that year at my weight. One of them being Walter Peppelman, but I ended up losing to a kid named Matt Kyler in the state finals my freshman year. Sophomore year went on to win it uh, over a good buddy. Sorry, did I interrupt?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, over a good buddy, Nico Cortez, and then the next year was Nick Benleon, and following year was Josh Kindig.
Yeah.
Then ended up going to Oklahoma State, where I was a 4-time All-American, 2-time champ, 3-time finalist. Freshman year, I took a fourth. Uh, I lost to Ness in the semifinals in like the 6th overtime
Hmm.
as a freshman, and then he went on eventually to win it against Dennis, I
Yeah.
believe. Yep. And then I lost in the fourth place match. I got my butt spanked actually by Frank Gomez. Uh, Dude was no joke. So uh, graduated in 13, and now uh, finally, in position to break through and be on the team, and not just on the team. I feel myself, and I just got back from Poland. I wrestled one of the top guys in the world, being Chikayev.
Yeah.
Uh, and I got, a lot of the times when I wrestle some of these top guys that I've beaten, I wrestled them in event matches.
Mm.
I wrestled in close matches with Chamizo and beat Asgarov and beat Kurbanaliev. And sometimes you wonder, like, did I get 100%?
Yeah.
Were these guys really training, to be a world champ at this time?
What's your opinion on it?
Uh, I think I think it goes both ways, right? Because I think it's an event to have fun,
Hmm.
so there's not a lot of emotions and real pressure to it.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't think you get 100% because now you got guys coming in and they come to the big cities, but also I don't believe you get 100% from us.
Right.
Uh, I mean, we have a little bit of an advantage because they have to travel here, and then obviously they want to see the cities wherever it is, whether it's New York City, whether it's L.A. where we wrestled before.
Yeah.
Uh, they want to see these places when they come here.
For
So
sure.
they're on their feet, they're walking around. It's not like they're treating it as a world title match,
Right.
right? So when I got to Poland, long story short, I wasn't even supposed to go 67. I was supposed to go 72. I've been really disciplined and really good with my training, my weight, being here at Cornell
Yeah.
with Date, and being in a great environment and situation. So uh, I got over there and worked out a couple times. Was eating, lifting the whole time. Didn't even miss a meal, and then I decided to make the cut right at the last second because I was light. I was about 69 kilos,
Wow.
which is only 2 kilos over.
Yeah.
And then I see guys like Chikayev and Bek Bulatov and King Shavili show up. Uh, so that to me, we're a couple weeks out from the World Championships.
Yeah.
Uh, this is a mini, World Championship itself. All
Right.
you need is Aliyev uh, from Azerbaijan, and you got a World Championship, kind of tournament right there. So I took it upon myself to make the cut down and get a feel for these guys. And I just so happened to get to wrestle uh, three great opponents. The last two were studs, with one being from Japan. I think his name was Kamoi.
Okay.
And then the third one was Chikayev, which I believe, I don't believe I was 100%. I got a little dinged up in that match, but that was right at the end. No excuses. I think he was the better wrestler that day, but I got to feel what 100% feels like from one of the best guys in the world. Uh, and knowing that, honestly, I haven't wrestled, you know, 8 days leading up to that competition. It was just all running and, lifting, feeling good and strong.
Yeah. So
Uh,
go ahead.
so it was good. It was good. I got to feel, I think, 100% of, one of the best guys in the world, and know that I have a lot of work to do. I'm coming off a year and a half of no competition, and then making weight same day of competition. So
Yeah.
it was kind of, a couple new things, but I feel good, and I'm just ready to keep competing.
For sure. So with the last couple months, let's backtrack back to the Beat the Streets event. Tell me how that experience was for you. It was coming like it was kind of like a coming out party for Jordan Oliver. People seeing you back in the scene and making a statement. Tell me a little bit how that went. You seem very fired up and excited. Not only in the match but just the feedback you got from the crowd and everything. Tell me how that was experience wise for you.
It was good. It was good. It's always good to get back and compete.
Yeah.
After taking time off uh, due to the whole USADA thing, and then uh, having to get surgery.
Yeah.
My first surgery ever. I take a year off, and I have to come back and beat the Olympic champ.
Yeah.
Uh,
kind of a little heavy
it's a
load
tall order,
carry.
right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was a challenge accepted.
Yeah.
It was like, this can go two ways. I was looking at it. I can either sit around, pout about things, not work, and when I come back, luckily when I came back, I trained my butt off, and when I came back, I got a world class opponent. I got the Olympic champ.
Yeah.
I got a guy that's consistently been winning at the weight class I'm trying to do it at. And this goes way back from 2012 when I had to train with Coleman Scott.
Mm-hmm.
We were getting ready to for the 2012 Olympic Games. And these are one of the guys he had to beat. So we knew, coming into this match, I knew Asgaroff. I knew who he was. I knew the things he's done, the things he does in his wrestling, his habits. So I knew I couldn't, take it lightly. So
For
it
sure.
was good to come back and wrestle a guy of this statue and uh, get a win at that.
Yeah.
Coming back and just showing people that even in the off time and all that downtime, I was working.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a statement for them. It wasn't a statement for anybody but myself.
Right, for sure.
Uh,
That's what I took away from it. You seem to get a lot of satisfaction in yourself seeing you prove not anybody wrong, but prove that you can come back and make a name for yourself in the sport still.
right, right. And it's always hard sitting back and seeing guys sometimes win that you were just right there. Especially in my case, I was right there.
Yeah.
It took me years to finally break through, win a U.S. Open. I do, and then boom, this whole saga hits, and I'm just like, I finally did it.
Yeah.
I was so close, and then I got pulled back under the water.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Uh,
adversity that you needed to go through in order to grow as an athlete. It's probably going to be one of the pivotal moments in your career when you look back and say, "I'm glad I went through it," because without that, who knows what
for
it could have
sure.
been.
There's no question. Uh, I hate I had to sit.
Yeah.
I think it helped me evolve as a person uh, and as an athlete. It helped me outside the room and inside the room, but it also put me in a good situation. It put me in a good environment. Uh, that everything that came with it, I wouldn't change for the world. The people around me, and I'm not saying Arizona State was not a good environment because that was a great environment.
Yeah.
That was a place I still love and love to go back and train. I still would live there and train. I wouldn't change it.
Right.
But I think being here in Cornell with my coach, somebody that I've known my whole life, that's helped me out since I was young, being Corey Cooperman, but having a training partner as Kyle Dake,
Yeah.
you can't beat it.
Yeah.
And you look at our styles. I have we're on two different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah. For
Right?
sure.
And when we wrestle every day, we really feed off of each other, and we can really bounce technique and grind through little situations that I have little experience in. He has a lot of experience in, and then it can be vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's a really good 1-2 punch for us. And then I have Yanni.
Yanni's like your back pocket, last minute.
Yeah, it's not. And when I first got here, it was just me and Yanni. It was like me and Yanni against the world. Kyle was like, "Dude, what the heck? You're here to train with me too."
Right.
Because me and Yanni, it's like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, for sure. I could see that.
So we're a really good flow. So, the injuries kind of like set us like off a little bit, but literally here in probably like 3 weeks, it's me and Yanni can start flowing again. He's already flowing, but
yeah, how is he doing with everything?
he's doing great, man. He's just a freak of nature,
Yeah,
and he thrives in times of adversity.
for sure.
As you've seen in wrestling, and he does it in his outside life. He has an injury. The dude attacks it like he's in a wrestling match. It's something he's constantly going after, and something he's in the room working on it twice, 3 times. Anything he can do to make it better, he's doing. You better believe he's doing, and probably a little bit more.
For sure. So Jordan, let's talk about what you're up to now. Tell me a little bit about how training goes about leading up to big events, and what's your everyday routine or schedule as far as training with Dake and those guys over at Cornell?
We try to go. Well, my schedule, I try to keep it. Monday, Tuesday wrestling, Wednesday is an active recovery day, Thursday, wrestling, Friday's match day, Saturday light play drill, and then the mornings of Monday, Tuesday will be a lift and run, and then Wednesday active recovery. Maybe some active recovery will be like sauna with a light run,
Mm-hmm.
stretching, something just to get the body going, something just to get a light sweat. Um, as athletes, I feel our bodies our bodies react more to aggressive approach. For us to just go from 100 miles per hour, of our everyday routine,
Mm-hmm.
and then say, okay, this is our off day. Boom, we don't do nothing.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think that's counterintuitive, I'd say, to your body, and it's not good for it.
yes, and it's almost like it almost puts you in shock. It almost even after that off day, if you ask most wrestlers when they come back, it feels like you've been off for like a week.
Yeah, you lose even if it's like 1% of conditioning, you lose that extra step that could have got you there.
Yes, yes, and people say time and whatever you want to call it, you can feel it after that one day of taking completely off. You're like,
Yeah,
what happened? What happened?
right.
One day,
Uh,
right? So, um, active recovery is just something moving, something that I've been doing. Uh, I just been up and running.
yeah,
I get up and run. The past 7 days, I've ran 4 to 5 miles each day, and then that's not on top of it. I have rowing and Jacob's ladder and
yeah,
Stairmaster. So I'm trying to really tap in and push my cardio because, um, as being low and being down there at 40s,
yeah,
uh, I want to become, I don't want cardio to ever be, a factor in wrestling, just as it was in college.
right.
I take it back to making 33. So, um, and then Sunday, even Sunday, maybe even try to get like a soccer game, uh, something that's I can do something that's active,
Yeah,
but it'll take my mind away from wrestling, but it's also competitive.
yeah. So I was just about to go into that, where you're kind of, I could see you were going into the mental part of preparation. Tell me, for the kids that look up to you and people that have watched you wrestle over the years, what has been the mental preparation you've put into competing in the sport like wrestling? Because everybody that looks at it from the outside in, they see it as a physical sport and it's just strength and power and aggressive moving forward.
Right.
But most of the people don't understand it's a lot more mental.
It's huge mental. I give a lot of dues and respect uh, to Coach Smith with my mental training.
Yeah,
Uh, no ands, ifs, or buts. We were taught, and it's all about habits, right? And
yeah,
in wrestling, guys feed off of other guys' body habits. So when I see you and you have your hands on your hips or your hands on your knees, to me, that's a sign of being tired. That's a sign of weakness,
right.
right? And it goes to training just simple things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Being first back to the center,
Yeah,
not having your elbows on your knees when you're in your stance, being ready, having hands up.
right.
Uh, I think all of these, and it's not something that's like some people are naturally given. I think mental toughness just because of what they build and what they go through
Right.
uh, in life, and just instances in their wrestling career,
Injuries
right?
per se.
Yes, yes, and some people, uh, which is it's awesome for them, uh, never have to go through sometimes of adversity,
Yeah,
and never feel that pain that another wrestler has felt. And I'm not saying they have to feel that to get there,
sure.
right? But I think every day for your mental training, it's really your confidence in yourself and the things that you do. Like me, like for instance, like I just said, I just ran the past 7 days, 4 to 5 miles.
Yeah, I
I
believe
ain't
that.
running freaking 2 miles. You know what I mean? I'm not a runner.
Right.
I wrestle. That's what I do. I didn't. If I wanted to run, I go sign up for track, right? But it's something that I got to do. It's something that builds mental stability. It builds mental confidence, and makes me have so much more confidence in moving my feet and having the confidence knowing that I can move my feet not only for the first minute, I can move it for the full 7.
Yeah.
And if it goes past the full 7 minutes, let's go. I can do 30 minutes too.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
and that all comes just from me doing those little runs every day, and then my workouts on top of it. So I think a lot has to do with, you investing in yourself, but also it's something you work every single day. It's your habits.
Yeah.
When I get up, you know what I mean? I have the option to be like, damn, I'm tired. I want to lay back down for 5 more minutes.
90% of
Or,
America said that this
yes,
morning.
yes. Or I'm like, I got to get up. I got to do this run. And it's not I got to do it. I want to do it. This is training. This is
Yeah.
what I love to do.
Right.
Right? And sometimes it's hard as hell to do it.
Yeah.
But once you get it done, you feel so good about yourself. And then if you want, you have spare time, go take a nap.
Yeah.
You put in the work. I'm not telling everybody to go take naps, but you
Earn
get
that
what I'm
nap.
saying, right? Yes, earn it, right? Go in there, put in the work, and then, listen to your body,
Yeah.
right? If you got to sleep, get a power nap in, get back up, and attack what you need to attack. But uh, like I said, I think it's mental habits and winning every day, especially in the wrestling room. I can choose to look tired. I can choose to show emotions on my face, or I can hide them. Even though I'm tired, I can hide them because it almost gives my opponent, it almost gives my partner a second win when he sees, okay, he's tired too.
Yeah.
Right. So, and a lot of that, like I said, comes from Coach Smith.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to say, like a guy like Kyle Crutchmer, yourself, Steve Mako, it's strange that a lot of these guys that come or bred from Oklahoma State, they have this mindset that is different from a lot of other colleges. I mean, even Penn State has their own style of mindset, and Iowa,
Right.
but Oklahoma State, it seems like it's more about the attitude and owning the attitude.
Right. And it's how do you want to be perceived? You know what I mean? And it's not that we want to come off as, don't let me get it wrong, as like cocky or like somebody you can't approach, but it's just a way of life. It's like, and those guys that you mentioned, Steve Mako and Kyle Crutchmer, those are two
Yeah.
tough MFs.
Yeah, for sure.
Love those guys, and I never really got to be around Steve like that, but I was around Kyle, and dude's great. You know what I mean? He's doing good in MMA side of things where he needs to be.
For sure, yeah. I agree.
Needs to be there, so it's awesome for him. I'm happy. But I think it comes with just the person you want to be, but it's that mentality you have to have, right? It comes along with the things you've been through. Kyle has had brothers, probably has to earn a lot his whole life.
For sure.
Mako, same way.
Yep, same thing. Yourself too.
Yes. So for us, coming up, it was, things weren't always given.
Right.
And the mentality where we come from, our backgrounds, not a lot of us want to praise like where we come from. Not, I don't want to say in a bad way, but
right, I get what you're saying.
Not the best of place, right?
Right.
But I love it for that because it has helped mold me and made me into the person that I am.
For sure.
And it's given me that mentality, and I make sure to carry that mentality everywhere I go. It's a dog world.
That's a good segue in the dog eat dog world with what I've been waiting to talk to you about. I think a lot of listeners that are purposely listening to this is strictly for this segment we're about to get into. So I got a couple more minutes with you, Jordan. Thank you once again for being on the podcast. So this whole beef, I like where the wrestling world is going with Twitter beefs because it's not about the beef itself. It's about bringing the community together to showcase some of the baddest dudes wrestling on the mats. And so tell me about how this all stemmed. And I think we all know who we're talking about here. The beef you got going on with Zane. You guys have been, firing shots at each other. Tell me how, I want to hear your side of it. And I want to tell me about how this all started.
All right. Well, it goes way back to the controversy uh, in the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't believe there was any like ever like craziness to be like uh, Jordan hates Zane, Zane hates Jordan, right?
Right.
It was this persona people drew up,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I loved it. I went with it, right? We were going in the 2017 Open,
Yeah.
right? And I was not favored to win. All right, so that already put
Is
like,
that what you put in your mind, or is that what you were just hearing from people? Like,
well, that's what I just seen everywhere. I
okay.
was I was clear cut the winner.
Right.
I figured who was in it, right?
Right.
So that my mindset is I'm winning this thing. I'm number one seed. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Long story short, I come in, seeing all this stuff. You know, Frank Molinaro is favored to win it. Who love Frank, great competitor, but
Right.
he's never beaten me. He made the Olympic team and had an awesome run. The dude put on for 65 kilos.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Love him. But he was okay. He's favored to win it now.
Yeah.
Okay, he hasn't beaten me. Zane Rutherford, who's gonna stop the train? Okay, what do you mean? He hasn't beaten me. So it was kind of like a slap in the face, being like, these are the top guys, and I wonder if Jay is gonna burst the bubble this year. And I'm just like, all right, you want me to play the villain? I'll take this role. Let's go. Right. So we get into the U.S. Open, and the match happens. Right.
Yeah.
Nothing for nothing. I think Zane had a great defense. Right. He jumped over. I don't think I should have been awarded for it, but the rules say it's a correct throw. Right. I threw his feet went over his head when he jumped and did the defense. I get awarded for it.
It's very admirable of you to admit that too. You know, just for you to admit that little thing.
It's just it's great wrestling,
Right?
Right. And I
Yeah.
hate to see like wrestling get to this,
Right.
because it's like, yeah, that's a correct throw, but look at this dude's defense. He just didn't expose. He did some matrix type move,
Yeah.
right? And you still gave me points. What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I've lost plenty of matches to Metcalf or to other people.
Yeah.
By them starting with my leg, or them getting a passive call and a push out, or without have a takedown on the board, and I got a takedown, right?
Right.
So it was good. I finally got a call for once. I was like, for one time, the rules worked out in my favor.
Yeah.
Right? If I look at that match again, I came into that match with a lot of emotions, right? So now this hype happened. I have to get sat out with the USADA, and we never get to finish it, right? Even though I'm 2-0,
Right.
we never get to finish this rivalry.
Yeah.
There's a couple times people have contacted me, offered the match. Let me just put this on record. There's not one person's name ever that's came across my table, across my phone screen, that I have not accepted a match again. I don't care who they are, what they did.
Would you mind telling me a couple of those names?
and it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And you just look at like the matches that like Lance Palmer, and these are just some matches I've taken. Lance Palmer, Bubba J.
Yeah.
You know, there's other event matches. There was Jason Ness's. There was other event matches.
I get you.
Rutherford's have been offered. At one point, me and I think Darian were gonna wrestle. Me and Darian are best friends, but
yeah, for sure.
People would have loved to see me and Caldwell. You know,
yeah.
At one point, me and DC were like, "Yo, let's go." Like even like me and Palmer and all of us were like, "It's good. It's good for the sport. People want to see this." There's even talks now that people want to see like me Pico. Like I think that would be awesome.
That'd be insane.
But long story short, Zane's name came up for the wrestling match in WNO.
Yeah.
I'm coming off of Poland. Everybody saw that I dinged up my knee.
Mm-hmm.
I still accepted the match.
Right.
I'm not supposed to wrestle, but I was going to.
Yeah.
But it came across, right? It came across, and I accepted it. and they have a plan, right? So I was just poking at the bear. Nothing crazy, but the sport of wrestling needs this,
Yeah.
right? And it's not. I'm not saying they need me because they don't need me.
Right.
They can find another person that's just as good as me and put them in the situation. I think the sport of wrestling needs to have the stories and the the controversy and the beefing, and I'll play the villain because everybody makes me out to be the villain, so that's fine. I'll play that role. And at the
Yeah.
end of the day, I respect Zayn, and I think he's an awesome wrestler. He has a skill set and things he does very well that obviously I don't do well, that makes him special.
Yeah.
So I would love to wrestle him, and why not here in Pennsylvania, where we're both from, and put on a show for wrestling and at the end of the day, promote good wrestling and put something to rest for people. People want to see it.
What's your
And then,
guys' interaction been off the mat? Have you ever engaged with them off the mat?
we recruited him to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
And you see him. I see him around, say hello and things like that. But it's nothing. I mean, we're not like buddy.
Right.
You
I
know,
know. I know. Sometimes when you come across people in the wrestling world, you might end up being talking over text or whatnot. So I've always been curious to see if there's ever been any type of engagement other than just wrestling each other.
Wrestling. If we're in the same area or not in the same area, I mean in the same place,
Right.
say hello, things like that. But it's
All formal.
nothing more than that. It's not that we hate each other. It's not like we would never be like that.
No, for
It's
sure.
just
Yeah, I get you.
we never evolved as friends and people to that
I got you.
scenario,
Yeah.
So I think Zayn's an excellent person. I think he's an excellent wrestler. Do I think I'm better? Yes. Do I think next time we wrestle, it'll be way different than the U.S. Open? Yes. But then again, I put myself in a situation. Another contract is going to be offered to him for the AWL for November 30th that I'll be wrestling in.
Yeah.
If he accepts, he accepts.
Do you think he
If
will?
doesn't, I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's not the right scenario. I think it's great. It'll be in Iowa,
Right.
neutral grounds, if that's what you're thinking. Dude, I'll go wrestle him in Happy Valley if I need to. So
Make sure you film
whatever I need to do
it.
for it to happen, it'll happen. But end of the day, he's one of the top guys. He is the top guy. Since he didn't compete last year, but coming back to this year and coming into the U.S. Open, he's going to be one of the top guys. Stever and we got Yanni D in there. We're gonna have Joey McKenna, Jaden Ehrman. So
Beast.
it's not like it's just like a weight people are gonna walk through.
Yeah.
We got great competition. We got some studs in there. We got people willing to die to win.
Right.
So,
what was the response like when you started tweeting and tweeting back at Zayn, and he came back with like a short little message? What was the response you were getting from your fans and your friends and family? What was that experience like? Because everybody, once that tweet came out that night you sent it, I mean, Flo was covering it. Everybody blew up on it. How was that for you?
Everybody loved it.
Yeah.
A lot of people loved it, but as you see, there's those, there's the 5%, of people that, well, maybe 15% in my case.
Yeah.
That just despised it.
Yeah.
And some people are like, you shouldn't have done it, and they take it so offensive and emotional, and they get so hurt by it. That's why I put out that tweet and was like, nothing. Hey, everybody, my life hasn't changed. I'm still getting up, working towards this world title.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it's good for the sport. I'm still going to poke at him. I'm still going to poke at everybody in my weight class and promote good wrestling. I'll poke at guys that, the weights above, weights below. If they want
when I say Twitter beef, I mean, some people think it's literally like a hatred for each other. It was like when I had Seth Gross on the podcast, and him and Bryce Meredith, they've done clinics together,
Yeah,
it's nothing personal. It's just they want to hype this sport up. The sport needs it more than ever. I mean, we're
right.
at a point in the sport where the social media age is taking over, and now wrestling is being exposed. And what better way to expose it than to get these matchups and get these people excited for matchups like you and Zane. So when I say beef, it's not literally a beef. It's just a hype. It's a hype.
Well, yeah, and you got to think Meredith and Grosser are close.
Right.
Uh, I mean, you can call it beef if you want. They can call it beef. I mean, it's not like we're buddy buddy.
Right.
Respect him for sure as a wrestler, but I'm gonna drop the hammer on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Put some points on that board. We're really gonna test out this Zane train here. So.
Well, Jordan, I know if you got a couple minutes, I'd love to keep talking to you, but if you got to go, I know that you're a little pressed on time. I just want to first say I hope you like all of our gear. Thank you so much for letting us send you out some gear.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. We appreciate the support.
Zane, this is what he needs to do.
So as I close out the podcast, I think we're gonna leave it at that and just close out the podcast as I always do. Jordan, when somebody says you have to go earn it, what does go earn it mean to you?
Go earn it. It's every day putting in the work to, simple expression, you earn what you get. So every day putting in the work, whether it's outside the room, whether it's inside the room, but doing the extra, earning the extra, wherever you can, just to get, 1% better that day to work towards the ultimate goal. And for us, it's, the world title, the Olympic title, but just to go earn it, man. If you want it, you'll earn it in every aspect of your life, whether it's in the wrestling room, you want to be the best, nutrition, whatever it got to be. You're earning it in every way, every aspect of your life.
Perfect. Jordan, where can listeners follow you, find you? Time for you to plug us up. Let us know where we can catch you wrestling and whatnot at.
Next time I'll be wrestling, I might be traveling with the guys to the World Championships.
Okay.
Help with Team USA. I was supposed to, I was Dakin Burrow's kind of training partner, and I dinged up my knee. So right now I'm getting that strong, and then possibly making the trip over the 8th through the 24th with the USA team, and then after I'll be wrestling in the AWL November 30th. But I'm looking at tournaments right now. I'm going to compete as much as I can in the international tournaments. Possibly looking to go to Eureka and see where I'm really at, test it out. So got some big things coming, and just right now, keeping my head down and training.
Well, Jordan, good luck to you. I wanted to show you this real quick. We're going to hook you up with one of these new gold watches we just came out with this week, so be on the lookout for that. And we look forward to watching you compete this year, and good luck to you, and thank you for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on. I'm pumped now about the watch. I'm a watch guy.
Oh, for sure. We'll make sure you'll get one pretty soon, all right, buddy?
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you for your time, man. You have a great day.
Yep, you too.